Hey everyone. Over the weekend, I saw Elemental from Pixar, so I thought I'd give you a quick review. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, since this is going to be a review, there could be spoilers. So if that's something that you want to avoid, maybe just stop listening right now. So, Disney's Elemental. This is a classic Pixar movie. It does a really good job of world building. It felt a little bit like the movie Inside Out in that way. If you remember, Inside Out was a Pixar movie about the world of emotions. There's a little girl, and she's got 4 or 5 different emotions in her head, and you kind of see them play out. It reminded me of the TV show Herman's Head from the 90s. Anyways, Elemental is a world where everybody is an element. So people are either fire people or wind people or earth people or water people. And they live in Elemental City. And really, there are 2 things to know about this movie if you want the quick synopsis. It is a story both of the sort of the immigrant story. You have a fire family, and the fire people were the most recent kind of wave of immigrants that came to Elemental City. And this one family in particular, there's a little bit of generational trauma in the sense of they had to leave, I forget what they called it, like fire land, and now they live in the fire town or the fire neighborhood in Elemental City, and the daughter is set to take over her father's shop. And this is like, the immigrant dream come true. The father built a business and he can hand it down to the daughter. The daughter has never really left the fire town, the fire section of Elemental City. And, they have this phrase of, elements don't mix, right? Fire, and of course, above all, they hate water for, obvious and silly reasons. One thing I loved about the movie, again, it's Pixar, so they do a good job of, it's pretty good for all ages, right? There's something the kids enjoy it. It looks cool. It's very imaginative. It's got some jokes that, the parents can appreciate. I loved the creativity in how the different elemental people kind of behave, what they eat, what they do for fun. Obviously it all plays off of their characteristics. The fire people eat very hot food. It's literally like coals, essentially. The water people are very emotional and they cry very easily, things like that. In terms of what the movie turns on, one thing I liked about this is, so again, here's the spoiler. It's basically Romeo and Juliet, right? You have a girl who's a fire person. She's the Jet or the Montague. And then you have a boy who is water. He's the Shark or the Capulet. They are star-crossed lovers. They meet by chance. There is, a sort of side stress or a side plot of having to save the father's shop, from a leak that is destroying it. And, they team up and they find ways to, essentially save it. And then you think it's going to get destroyed again, but sure enough, love saves the day. Again, it's Pixar, so everything ends up happy. It is essentially, and again, here's what I like about the movie review that I'm about to give. It is essentially Romeo and Juliet with a happy ending, right? So there is a moment where they could have gone full Romeo and Juliet. Like there could have been at least 1, if not 2 deaths, and or at least 1 death that would have driven the other one insane with grief. But they found a way to bring the person back, and everybody lives happily ever after. Everybody grows up. The daughter realizes she doesn't have to take over the shop. She can, live her own dream. The father gives her blessing. Of course, I want you to be happy. And the fire and water boy and girl are able to sort of be together. I do like as well, they don't show them like getting married or having kids or any of that. They just show them being young people about to go off on an adventure. They're going to go travel. She's going to go take like an internship somewhere to learn a new trade, and he's going with her. And so it's not like they don't wrap everything up in a bow. They kind of just say like, hey, they're going to be young people in love. But again, it's basically Romeo and Juliet with a happy ending and, of course, the quirks of people being made of fire and water and air and dirt. And again, it's a classic Disney movie. It's great for the whole family. If you're the kind of person that's concerned about super wokeness, there's only one moment like that in the movie. There is a moment where she meets the Water family for the first time, and one of them is like a sister, and she has a girlfriend. But it's sort of quickly mentioned, and nothing is dived into. So it's not like they didn't make a main character, a super woke identity or anything like that. So I don't think that's really an issue with this movie. Again, I thought it was good for the whole family. Parents can enjoy it. Kids can enjoy it. It is very creative. It is a story as old as time. Again, star-crossed lovers. But because it's for kids, they don't end it the way Romeo and Juliet ends. But that's essentially the story, right? So, yeah, give it a shot. I'd give it 2 thumbs up. Sometimes I'm easy to please with these kinds of movies. I go in knowing, if you go in knowing it's a Disney Pixar movie, you're not expecting a big twist, or you kind of know how these things play out, and it played out exactly like you would have expected. But that can be nice and fun, and it's enjoyable. So if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, this is a good movie. Peace and love. Hey, did you like this video? I hope you did. I'm working hard to try and make content for you for free. All I ask is that you like and subscribe. Take a moment, click the little subscribe button. It's not going to hurt you. You can always unsubscribe later if you decide you hate me or I gave a take that you didn't like. But for now, give it a shot. Maybe you'll have some fun.